Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome to LeEdFollow. Today we are going to be cleaning up a new exhaust I just bought. So we'll show you how I am cleaning this stainless steel exhaust using a few bits I've got knocking around the garage and some just general household stuff. So let's show you the exhaust. So as you can see, this is my new exhaust for the 370Z. It's an HKS high power. Just bought it second hand. I don't think it's got that much mileage on it, but I just want to get it a bit shinier. So on the Y pipe section, you can just about see this is the worst part. I've cleaned the left hand side, and as we go up the exhaust, you can see what I've done. You know, it wasn't that bad to start with, but it's just polished up quite, just a little bit better. This is good if you want to sort of sell an exhaust. It's worth spending a couple of hours just to give it a bit of a spruce, and it just might make it a little bit easier to sell. So I'll show you what I've done so far. So to start with, give it a spray with some Mr. Muscle. This helps break down the dirt. You want to have main sort of lumpier dirt off before doing this. Just saves a bit of time. This exhaust is pretty clean already. So we'll just spray this down, give it a shake and spray it down. So it foams up quite nicely. I'm leaving the flexies. I don't really want to mess with those, and don't forget to wear some gloves because this stuff burns if it touches your hand. So I'm going to leave that for about sort of 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll see what it looks like then. While we wait for the Mr. Muscle to do its thing, what I like to do with exhaust is always buy some new hardware and some new gaskets. These nuts and bolts cost me £7.77 from the local sort of supply place, and it just makes life a lot easier. This also works if you're selling an exhaust. Get some new nuts and bolts, some new gaskets, and it will sell that a little bit easier. The gaskets, you can get them on Amazon if you've got Prime next day, and these were 5-6 quid. I think, I can't quite remember now, but they weren't expensive, especially for the amount of hassle they will save you with blowing exhaust. It's not worth reusing exhausts gaskets. So it's been about 4 or 5 minutes so far of letting this just soak in. Now what I started using when I did the other side was the 3M Scotch-Brite pad. This scratches the metal a little bit. I wasn't that happy using it. So what I've switched to is just a pad scourer that you probably got under the sink. This seems to do the job quite well, so I will hit this with it. So as you can see, there's a lot of dirt coming off, and it's already getting a bit of shine back to it. Like I say, it's a couple of hours of work to clean an exhaust like this, and this is a big exhaust because it's a dual exhaust. Could add sort of 50, 100 quid onto the value of the exhaust. So you've just got to work out what your time is worth. So I'll just get a rag here. Just give it a slight wipe and see how we're getting on. As you can see, that's already 10 times better and very little effort. So we just keep polishing away. So I will keep at this, and then I'll see you in a minute. So after about a minute or so of scrubbing, I did it's come up like this. So that is a lot better. I did 4 minutes of soaking per side, and then just buffed it up with that. It's worked well. Now I'm going to go a little bit extra, and I'll get some polishing compound. This is a cutting compound from VP, which I love their stuff. And then I'm just going to put some on here and polish it up. Now any sort of compound will work, just auto sole will work. I tend to sort of finish off with auto sole, well I will on the back boxes and stuff, but this stuff just shines it up a little bit. I mean, there is no real reason to go to this effort apart from just nice to have it looking nice, because it's a good high quality exhaust. So just like we did the others, do one side at a time and just buff that up. And as you can see, for a few minutes work, it's come up lovely. So I'll just do the same on the other side, then we'll go and I'll show you the other sections. Something that is important to clean up is the flange faces. So as you can see, this one is pretty much clean, and that's how I got the exhaust. So I will now get a drill with a brush attachment, and we just go over as you can see, it doesn't take long to clean it up, and that will just make everything a bit less likely to have blows. So I will do this with the other side, and then we'll go into the midsection. So as you can see, the midsection is not nearly as bad as the Y pipe was. So, but I will still do the same routine of Mr. Muscle on here for 4 minutes, there, 4 minutes, and then use the scouring pad to scrub it down. While that is setting, I'll show you my favourite tool to get exhaust rubbers off. All you have to do is stick it behind the rubber and give it a little push. Highly recommend buying one. So it's been 4 minutes of this Mr. Muscle soaking. So now I will get the scourer and I'll get to work on it again. This should not be nearly as bad, as I said, as the Y pipe. And as you can see, it's already shining up. So I will finish this up. I might use this for a little bit. It's not coming up quite as quickly as I'd like, so I'm just going to use the Scotch-Brite a little bit. The other end doesn't need it as much because obviously this is the hotter end, this deals with more heat, and as we get further back the exhaust, heat becomes less of an issue. So I'm going to use this for a little bit, and then we'll see what it looks like. So as you can see, it's coming up a lot better. This end hardly needed any work. I haven't quite finished yet, but it won't take much to make this all nice and shiny. So I will do the same the other side, and then get the rubbing compound again and polish it all up. So I will say that will do well enough. I could spend a bit more time on it, but I just want to get it on the car, see what it sounds like. I did give the box and the pipework a quick scrub with the metal polish, the auto sole. Everyone's got this, and it just shines it up nicely. So now I'm going to get onto the back box. So here's the back box. A fair bit going on with this, with the resonator, can, pipework, and the tip. So first off, I will take the tip off, and we'll have a look at that. So I've undone the two small M6 button head Allen screws off the side with a 10mm, and now we'll take the tip off. These can be a little bit sticky because you get dirt and grime going into them, so between the layers. So wish me luck. Well, that wasn't easy, but it's off. So now, while the wife's out on a dog walk, I will take this in the kitchen and clean the insides of this up. I'll see you in a sec. So, giving this a quick clean up inside, as you can see, it's a lot better. I'll let this dry, then I'll polish this in a second. This, you just want to use some polish on, metal polish, or because you don't want this bluing to get sort of faded away. This is actually just burnt on, and if you rub too hard, you'll burn the top. You'll sort of take the top layer off and the bluing will disappear. So with this back box, I will do the same, just Mr. Muscle on the pipe work and the tip, because that's grimy. Leave it to sit, and then the scour should be enough to get everything off, because there's hardly any heat, so the pipe isn't really that discoloured. So while I was doing that, was waiting for that to sort of absorb and do its thing, I gave this a quick polish. It's a lot better. From a distance it'd be great, up close that's okay, but I don't want to polish too much, like I said, just to remove the bluing. Don't know if you can see there's a slight scratch on it where it shows you how shallow that blue is. So I used Mr. Muscle, let it soak, and gave it a quick scrub down with the scourer. For this end, to get this sort of looking better, I had to use the Scotch-Brite pad just to get a lot of the sort of ground in dirt. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So now it is back onto the polish to polish this pipe up. So the first quick pass, as you can see, is looking 90%. So I'm going to use the auto sol now on this, and then also on all the boxes, and I'll show you the finished result in a second. And here we go. So for a couple of hours work, if that, you can do a really nice job polishing your exhaust. So here is the finished result. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So hopefully that video was useful, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, which is going to be putting this exhaust onto the Z, and we'll get to see what this thing sounds like. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and see you next time.